XY grid, otherwise known as Cartesian coordinates. Okay then, so you should now have a working shark. I've just hit the green flag there, and now you can see the shark is biting away. You might have different timings to me. I've gone for 0.3 seconds there, but it doesn't matter what you have. As long as you've got a shark that's biting away and he's never going to stop because it's in a forever loop, then that's all good. If you haven't got that, then maybe pause the video and just sort that one out. Now the thing is, in the game, eventually we have lots of fish sort of coming in left and right and swimming around, but we don't want a shark that's that big. It's too big for the game, so I'm just going to stop it. I'm going to give you one little thing that you can include. Maybe stop this video in a second and do that, but then we're going to show you how we can move the shark around the screen. I'm going to show you sort of one way that works but that makes the game really quite easy. Then I'm going to show you another way which perhaps you might say is less effective but actually makes the game more of a game. Just trust me on this one. So first of all, how do I make the shark smaller? Well, actually this is really quite straightforward, because over here where we've got the looks button here, if I click on that, then a little bit further down we have the two buttons here that say change size by 10 and set size to 100%. Now I've always found over the years that kids kind of get a little bit confused about which one to use. But the one we want is this set size to 100%, and I'm just going to glue that in there. So when the green flag is clicked, before the shark starts even doing any biting forever, we're going to change his size. Now if I press the green flag, nothing happens because he's at 100% of the size. But if I were to change this to say a 50, and then I go back and press the green flag, now he's a reasonable size for the game. Now I know where this game's going to go. Personally, I still think he's a bit on the big side for where this game is going to end up. So I'm going to change that, and I should stop it first. And I'm going to change that to a 30. And I'm going to press play. Now my shark, even though it's quite a small shark, we're going to have even smaller fish, don't worry. So here's the thing. We now want to make the shark, this task is all about controlling the shark. I want to show you one way which you can do it, but to me, as I said, even though it works really well, it doesn't make for a great game. And it's a really easy one to do. But what we want to do is this. We want to say, and the reason we're doing it this way is I can introduce the fact that we can have, if I do control events even, my apologies, you can have two sets of code that run when the green flag is clicked. In fact, you have lots of different sets of code. But what I want to do is nothing more than, if I get this block here which says go to random position, and you're probably thinking, what do you want that for? Well, because in random position, press the arrow, I can choose mouse pointer. And now you're thinking, oh, the mouse pointer is the cursor, so if I do this and press the green flag, Sharky's going up there because he tried to go to the mouse pointer and he's biting away. But now he's not following that mouse pointer because it only does it once. If, however, we told it to do it all the time or forever again, then actually, press it and look, Mr. Sharky is following my mouse cursor around. Now, actually, that's quite cool, and in many games that's a useful tool. But for this game, it's going to make it too easy, because the whole point is fish are going to come in for the left and right, and if you can just quickly move your shark around like that, you can go, boom, look at that, how quick. It just makes the game far too easy. So we're going to press stop here. I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to drop that over here. And then I'm going to give you options about how we're going to control this. Now I'm going to put shark back in the middle, and I'm also going to put a different stage on there just for a moment. So I'm going to add, go back to here, I'm going to choose a backdrop, and I'm going to choose this one all the way down the bottom. XY grid, otherwise known as Cartesian coordinates. Yeah, I never knew what those were either. It was only on some course a couple of years ago and someone said, oh, use your Cartesian coordinates, and everyone looked blankly, and then he went, the XY grid, and I was like, oh, why don't you say that then? Because he wanted to use big words to make himself sound superior. You'll come across that in life quite a lot. Here's the shark. Here, on the orange line here, is the x-axis. And here on the blue line is the y-axis. So if I want the shark to move to the right, I need to increase the value of x. If I want the shark to move to the left, I need to decrease the value of x. If I move it that way, it might be plus, well, it'd be plus 20, plus 10, plus 20, plus 30, plus 40, plus 50. If I move it this way, minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, minus 40, minus 50. The other way round is if I want it to go up, then I will be increasing the value of x, of y. Gosh, even I got my axes wrong. Increasing the value of y. Look, there's a y there. I don't know, can't even read. Y. See, he threw me with Cartesian coordinates. Dreadful man. Should never have tried to sound so fancy. Plus y, plus 10 on the y, plus 20 on the y, plus 30 on the y, plus 40 on the y, minus 10 on the y, minus 20. You get the idea. Plus x, minus x, plus y, minus y would make the shark move up and down. So, here's the thing. There are two options. Now, I have in events, I go to events, when space key is pressed. I could change that to maybe being the arrow keys. So if the right arrow key is pressed, what I can do in motion is that down here, I've got change x by 10. Now, I'm going to press go, and I'm going to hold down the right arrow. I'm going to press the, look at Mr. Sharky is moving all the way to the right. If I press the left arrow key, nothing happens, because there is no instruction when left arrow key is pressed. But here's the other thing. Now, there are two ways of doing this. I could make 4 blocks when left arrow key is pressed, change the x by minus 10. I could, if I didn't want it to go so much, I could say maybe 5 at a time. Let me just show you something. If I stop this, bring Mr. Shark all the way over here, and I'm going to press play, but I'm going to hold down my right mouse button. That's how quickly he goes across the screen, just by holding it down. Let's bring Mr. Shark back. Try to bring it back. Stop the game, put him back, and I'm going to make that 10. Now to prove the point, I'll make it 15. I'm going to press play. Now I'm going to hold the right mouse button down. Much faster. So the whole point of that is how much you change x by is how fast it's going to move. In this particular case, I think I'll leave it as 5. So I could have the option of duplicating this and changing that for the left arrow and changing x by minus 5, and then I can duplicate it again for the up arrow, and I can duplicate it again for the down arrow. There is another way of doing it. The reason being is, look, when I'm not playing, the game's not running yet. The game's not running yet, and I can still move the shark around. The other option, instead of the right arrow and the left arrow, is this. Events. When the game when the green flag is clicked, I can put in a forever loop, and then I can choose an if command, and then I can choose here, it says if, and I've got this shape here, and you're thinking, well, what's that for? Well, over here in sensing, I have if key space pressed. But I could change that to a right arrow, and then I can use the same command of motion, change x by, and I put the 5 in. Now, it's a little bit more complicated, But when I press the key on my keyboard now, nothing happens. It only lets the shark move, just put him back a second, once the game has started. So I'm going to leave it up to you how you want to do it. If you prefer your shark, if I just stop this for a second, to be able to move even if the game hasn't started, fine, knock yourself out. If you prefer it that he doesn't move when the game has started, run with this one. But I want you to make sure the shark can move up, down, left and right. There is going to be a problem. Okay, there is going to be a slight problem that when you move him left, he's moon swimming. To look at what Michael Jackson used to do, if you know who Michael Jackson is. He was famous that he could look like he was walking forwards when he was walking backwards, or the other way around. It was called moonwalking. We'll solve that in the next video, but for the moment, just make the shark go up, down, left and right.